Welcome to part 4 of the 3 Up, 3 Down MLB preview, where we're going to be looking at the NL Central today, and we're looking at the biggest question facing each team heading into 2024. Let's go! Kicking off with the Milwaukee Brewers, the biggest question has to be, will the new young core emerge fast enough? The Brewers are very much banking on a brand new young group of players. Jackson Chourio, Sal Frelick, Joey Weimer, all kinds of young talent coming through the system in Milwaukee on a team that won the division last year. Yes, the Corbin Burns trade is going to hurt them, but they got some nice players coming back in Joey Ortiz and DL Hall. Again, more young players that could help them this season. They are definitely still trying to make a playoff push with Rhys Hoskins being signed and some guys getting very close to the end of their contracts. So if the Brewers start to falter, you can guarantee there's going to be some guys heading out through trade, like Willy Adames and potentially even closer Devin Williams. This Brewers team still looks fairly solid, but if they do falter, you hate to see it, but they can acquire more talent to put around these young players to build a brighter future for another day in Milwaukee. With the Chicago Cubs, for me, the question has to be, is this team prepared to go forward or regress? And with Cody Bellinger not re-signed at time of recording, he's maybe the pinnacle of this. We expect him back in Chicago, but Cody Bellinger's metrics last year, especially the underlying metrics, did not look very good, even though he had a very good season. And that's kind of true of the Chicago Cubs. They had a decent season, but there's a lot of underlying questions that are really affecting this team. Gone is Marcus Stroman, although Shota Umanaga has already set himself up to be a fan favorite in Chicago as the new starting pitcher. Justin Steele is still there. There's a chance of a very good starting rotation. There's been some questions with the bullpen. They've tried to shore it up a little bit. We'll see what happens this year in Chicago. The offense has the ability to look good. Bellinger back in the lineup would really help, although a guy like Pete Crow Armstrong could really step forward this season and emerge as a young star in the majors. There's a lot to like about the Cubs. There's a lot of questions asked about the Cubs. So the question is, are they going to take that step forward or regress? The Cincinnati Reds have made some very puzzling decisions in the offseason, so the question has to be, how are all the pieces going to fit together? Jeimer Candelario has been added to the infield mix, where they have a lot of infielders already. Guys like Spencer Steer, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Noelvi Marte, Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McLean. There is a ton of infielders already, so how are they going to handle the playing time? Or are they worried about maybe one of these young guys not working out and needing some more time in AAA? I'm looking at Ellie De La Cruz. We saw the swing and miss in his game last year. To go along with this, Frankie Montas was brought into the rotation along with Nick Martinez. Nice pieces if healthy, especially with Montas, but they haven't performed consistently in a starting rotation. Nick Martinez had a very good year as a starter, but he's been known as more of a swingman in the past. So we'll see what kind of rotation the Reds can put together. They have a ton of young talent. They have a solid bullpen fronted by Alexis Diaz, so there's a lot to like in Cincinnati, and if the young talent can take a step forward, they have a chance to go very far in the NL Central. For me, looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates, the question has to be, will the rebuild ever end? It's the same story year after year in Pittsburgh. Bring in some retreads to help out in the starting rotation, guys like Martin Perez, and hope that the young players take a step forward, a la Nick Gonzalez, O'Neill Cruz, Henry Davis. Now, there's the makings of a decent offense in Pittsburgh. I really like the setup in the middle of the lineup with Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds, Jack Sawinski, the returning Andrew McCutchen. There's a lot to like. And I think the Pittsburgh Pirates may have one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. David Bednar, Aroldis Chapman, Colin Holderman. There's a lot to like at the back end of the Pirates bullpen, and that's going to help them win games. But they're going to need to have some young players take a step forward and start to emerge in the major leagues. A Henry Davis solid season behind the plate at catcher would really help. The same with solidification of someone taking over the second base spot, be it Nick Gonzalez, Jihan Bay, or Jared Triolo. There's a lot to like in Pittsburgh. They seem to have a nice group of players emerging. They need a lot more starting pitching help. Roansy Contreras and Quinn Priester having a good season would really, really help the Pirates going forward. If everything comes together, maybe they do have a chance in the NL Central. Our last team to look at is the St. Louis Cardinals, who had an awful season, especially on the mound last year. They simply could not get outs, and they have seemed to try and fix that with the acquisition of Sonny Gray, as well as Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn. Now, Gibson and Lynn are probably in their last legs, 36 years old each. Maybe they can really help in St. Louis, but you have to wonder, are they enough, along with guys like Miles Michaelis returning? Sonny Gray, I think, is a very good addition for them. The offense shouldn't really be a question. There's a lot there. Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, hopefully they can rebound a little bit. Nolan Gorman took a huge step forward last year. Jordan Walker showed the promise that he could be a real stud in the offense and has seen the opportunity for more playing time definitely open up this year. Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan can help out the offense as well. It's all going to come down to pitching in St. Louis, and we'll see if guys like Gibson, Lynn, and Sonny Gray are the answer in 2024. Thank you so much for making it all the way in. Another preview video here on 3 Up, 3 Down. If you've missed any of the previous 3 videos, make sure you go check them out in the playlist. As well, if you're interested in any baseball analytics, go check out some of my previous videos I did over the off season. Until next time, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel as we make the push for 500 subscribers, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.